Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in the USL Championship. We'll take you over the last 7 days, get you ready for the next 7 days. As always, a no dilly, no dally zone will get you through the matches of the week, get you your juice boxes, all the news, and everything you need to know when it comes to USL Championship. Let's take you through the schedule of the last 7 days. Going back to Friday, August 9th, goalless draw with FC Tulsa and Orange County at 1 OK. Same score on Saturday, kicking off the long traditional day. Busy schedule in USL Championship. Goalless draw at Highmark, Pittsburgh, and San Antonio FC. Charleston, a big win at home against Memphis 9-0-1 at Patriots Point, 3-1 there. 4-1 at WakeMed, North Carolina FC over Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Rhode Island continued their winning ways at Bern. 3-0 winners over Hartford Athletic in what is now being referred to as El Trashico, the rivalry between Rhode Island FC and Hartford Athletic. And the Google search probably for something along the lines of El Trashico, check out the Danbury Trashers. You can check their Wikipedia page. Just find the history of the Danbury Trashers to kind of give you an idea. It's just a part of the story up there involving that rivalry. Southwest University Park at El Paso Locomotive getting a win over the Miami FC by the final of 2-1. That gets us to our first match of the week, and it was a doozy. Understandably so. At the FAM, as it's now being called, Lynn Family Stadium, Lou City hosting Sacramento Republic. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at the USL Championship and YouTube.
One of the leaders in USL Championship all time in minutes played, and we're underway. Sacramento left to right in the white, Louisville right to left in the purple. He's made a few big saves, but just a lot of opportunities left on the table from Sacramento. The word Mark Briggs used was static at times. Now it's quickly in transition the other way. Wilson Harris cutting. Harris! 13 on the season! He's their leading man for a reason, and Louisville leads!
Well, we told you coming in that success for Louisville City is based on the attacking front and their ability to be vertical overall. It's about pace and tempo and how quickly they go from A to Z. Showcase none better than the distribution coming off the back line by Arturo Ordonez. What he's trying to do here is break that first line of pressure. You find the diagonal and then you adjust accordingly going forward. You don't know where the secondary run is going to come from, and that's why Wilson Harris stays up high on the left. After the ball,
putting games away earlier, finding that second goal in a quicker fashion as Pirano looks through for Phillips, turns back inside, and Loss makes the stop. And it's because of that, moments like that, Danny Cruz does not want teams hanging around. They have plenty of goal-scoring opportunities. That 8th minute Wilson Harris goal. Elijah Winder, Ray Serrano, can they add to it? Serrano went for the ceiling, ended up over the bar. Swung around to Jake Morris. Fakes the first. Morris underneath, goes for goal, and the C's part into the arms of Danny Vitiello.
Donovan or Timmer could be involved in that conversation just before the dressing room change momentum.
Another free kick driven in. Harris sneaks it through. Serrano cuts it back. Davila's there! It caroms off his left foot and in! What a start to this second half for Louisville!
One of the first targets Lou City went and secured in the offseason was the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, Arturo Ordonez. An incredible defender who started the first goal and the second. What a challenge that is to win just over the midfield line. And then look at how high of a line they have in terms of pressure and support. 6 different players, 25 yards and in for Lou City to allow themselves to chase this narrative further. Wilson Harris, so unselfish in nature, to Ray Serrano. At best, much better odds for Sacramento.
Pirano from this corner, dangerously through, still loose in front. Can somebody put it home? Yes, it's Nick Ross. Sacramento cuts the deficit in half, and we've got a game here in Louisville.
Well, the first issue you're going to have here is the fact that nobody from Lou City rotates out on the 2v1 to help out. Ray Serrano, he's got to commit. He does. He goes to Pirano. You have the ability to cut back across, but he's slow because he's by his lonesome. And then from there, it's just your reaction points. Who's willing to quickly react to where the...
New life now for Sacramento. Pirano to Gurr on the ground. It's all the way through and in. The equalizer for Karen Phillips. Just like that. All level at Lynn Family Stadium.
Certainly the conversation for Sacramento Republic, but in order to be able to create that separation, you have to have underneath to make
and even for a team who's 15-4-2, it's maybe the difference still between a few more points they could have had already this season. Square turns the corner again, and line puts it in front. Save, no, it's in! And even for a team who's 15-4-2, it's maybe the difference still between a few more points they could have had already this season. Square turns the corner again, and line puts it in front. Save, no, it's in! Piece of it for Loss. Ross gets his second from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. Dreamland for Sacramento.
Love the quick look here by Luis Felipe off the set piece, just trying to open up some space on the far side, control the tempo of the game overall. One of the biggest things when you look at this back line and the switch is Connor Donovan centrally to allow Jared Timmer to get on the ball. That beautiful right foot of his, always so clean in distribution, to find one of the most aggressive pieces on this team in Jack Gurr. You get him
moments this year where they've switched off defensively, and that's been their Achilles heel. Can they get it back, though? Jansen Wilson tiptoed the line. He's onside. Wilson! Brilliant! End-to-end. 6 goals. Split down the middle. 3-3.
Well, the intensity definitely up a notch. This ball right here, well done by Amadou Dia, but this ball right here by Dylan Maris. Woo! Some kind of vision, my friend. The super sub Dylan Maris, magical ball to Jansen Wilson, and talking to Danny Cruz, he said this could be the game changer. This could be the future. Jansen Wilson has been something special.
Back and forth they go. Wilson Harris, is this the next one? Took a deflection off the bar.
And good to get himself into this position. Dylan Maris, very clean coming off the bench, by the way. Love the cut back across, and then Danny Vitiello breathe a sigh of relief.
It is McCabe. As far as Tosh, knocked back to Ordonez. That's a center back.
You cannot be expansive from end to end, both sides of the ball.
Perez into the area, outside of the boot. The header, the save from Vitiello, robbing Niall McCabe. There we go. McCabe floats it up top. Loose in front, still loose. Tosh, back heel. Harris, the winner for Louisville.
There's a lot to unpack in this entire sequence, but number one, you have to be organized. Credit to Lou City, who are exactly that. Now McCabe recognizes he's got one-on-ones in the box, and all he has to do is keep this thing away from Danny Vitiello. Sean Tosh.
Glance at the watch, and now it's final. It was billed as the game of the year. It lived up to the hype. We may yet see it again in November, but for now, it's Lou City 4, Sacramento 3.
7-goal craziness with Lou City and Sacramento. Do not be surprised if these two teams wind it back up in the last match of the year to determine the champion here in 2024. At Cardinal, Birmingham Legion got a big win on the road, 2-1 over Monterey Bay. At Pioneer, Oakland Roots over Loudoun United by the score of 3-1. At Cashman, Vegas Lights and Detroit City had a 1-1 draw. Corner of 38th and Washington, Phoenix Rising and Tampa Bay Rowdies had a goalless draw. And Indy 11 at the Mike lost to New Mexico United 3-1. And in the midweek, it was Memphis 901 beating the Miami FC at the Pitbull Stadium. I guess we call it that, the Pitbull Pen. Come up with a name. But at FIU, Memphis 901 knocks off the Miami FC. That gets us to our second match of the week. We go to the lab. New Mexico United and FC Tulsa. There's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at the USL Championship, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
New Mexico, of course, in their home black uniforms of the Outwolf. FC Tulsa in their patina green tops. Of course, a couple of former New Mexico United men on the FC Tulsa side here this evening. We played there last season, 33 appearances. Here come New Mexico. Micheletto over to Hernandez, back to Micheletto. Reyes now. Jacobo Reyes, and he sneaks it through. 3 minutes in, the black and yellow open up the scoring, and it's Jacobo Reyes.
I don't think anyone expected that.
For Jacobo Reyes, let's have another look at this TLC replay. And Chris, nothing fancy to it. He just sticks his boot right through the ball.
Yeah, you just see that just dropping off there. Bourgeois just dropping off, doesn't really step, so doesn't feel the pressure. So again, Reyes just thinks, a little tester early on, maybe doesn't think much of it. And you can see it's just bouncing, just as he's trying to.
Talk about somebody who's been in form recently. Sergio Rivas, since coming back from injury, Chris, scored again on the weekend. As Hosu just hits it here at Peñaranda.
So that's going to be a big blow for New Mexico.
Gloucester able to connect with Hernandez. Here's Flanagan. Inside the box, Flanagan looking for Hernandez. And unable to redirect that on frame. Opening up the scoring in the 3rd minute. The crowd starts to fill in here at the lab. Free kick goes in, and Tambakis unable to keep it out. It's headed in, and it looks to be the former New Mexico United man, Alexi Sawahi, with the equalizer here 16 minutes in. Second goal of the season for the Comoros international, Alexi Sawahi. You see he just climbs the ladder there, it looks like, and heads this one home. And a big-time goal there for FC Tulsa. Greg Hurst with the turn. Finds Flanagan. He's shifty. Avion Flanagan goes down and draws the penalty. It was Dom. And Greg Hurst has the penalty saved by Peñaranda.
That little skip, he was trying to get the goalkeeper Peñaranda there to give away which direction he was going. It almost looks like he changes his mind at the last second to open his hips up and go the other direction and go to his right. See there, he just opens it up, maybe trying to disguise it a little too much. The resurgence for Tulsa, you would say, you probably don't have to look much further than right at the back there between the sticks. Started off conceding far too many goals early on in the season. Their initial keepers conceding 13 goals in 4 games, unfortunately. So, they made a change. And it's
Micheletto just looking to pick out Greg Hurst there in the 18. Hurst able to bring it down. Ball still bouncing around. Down goes Micheletto. Sergei Demianchuk not interested. Play continues. Here's Diallo now. Free kick here for FC Tulsa. Sent away by Hernandez. Here's Dom. Diallo now looking. Free header. Oh, and Tulsa have taken the lead. And once again, it's Alexi Sawahi, the defender with 2 goals against his former club in the first half. Back to the lab for Alexi Sawahi as we get another look on this TLC replay. Completely unmarked That's about as easy as they come. And just like that, Sawahi with his second goal of the match. And this quickly is turning into a night that he is
trying to react at the last second, but he was gesturing that he had more than one player to mark. Maples was gesturing the same as well. So just sixes and sevens at the back post there. And you see New Mexico United, how frustrated they're getting. They're just throwing long balls up to Hurst and hoping for knockdowns, and that's not what they're good at. That's when they're getting the ball in midfield, the quick sharp passing, one-two touch, that's when New Mexico United are free flowing and look at their best.
Tulsa looking for a third. Another opportunity, and they have a third! As we enter first half stoppage time, this time it's Pacheco, and Tulsa now go up by a score of 3-1. And for Pacheco, that's his fourth goal of the season, and he just sneaks it right by Abdi Muhammad and Alex Tambakis. And New Mexico searching for answers.
Yeah, I mean, right there they are, and look how...
Goal that you speak of on Sunday that Harry Swartz scored, Chris, that is the first of the season. Here's Micheletto. Shot takes a deflection. Ball still loose. Rivas, one of the other halftime substitutes. It's Micheletto unable to connect with Abdi Muhammad there. Rivas gets it back. There's Reyes looking for Hurst, back post. Ball still bouncing around, and that's Harry Swartz. He's now scored in back-to-back games, and that's his first goal of the season at the Lab.
Yeah, and they've got their just rewards. It's been a great start the second half. Well done by Greg Hurst there. The temptation to try and go for goal there must have been really, really strong. And just nods it back into Harry Swartz. Doesn't have to be the prettiest goal in the world. Right place, right time, great finish.
The Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas. 64th minute goal. It's that header off target. It was Micheletto that time. Daniel Bruce, not on the score sheet against Indy, but did pick up an assist on the Sergio Rivas goal. Second assist of the season there for Daniel Bruce. Oh, and what a challenge. Swartz comes away with it. Swartz looking for a second and an absolute thunderbolt. Harry Swartz, welcome back.
Wow. What a strike that was.
To 3 on this season. All 3 of those goals coming in the last 2 matches. We're tied up here in the 64th minute.
I didn't give him enough credit there. He hits it just with a slight outside of his foot, so he's just going away from the keeper. He really missed him, just purely like having a left footer playing at left back. It sounds so simple, but just the balance it gives the team, and it was sorely missed in those games that he was out injured.
Great challenge there from Akale. New Mexico on the break. Here's Quelle, and it rattles off the woodwork. Swartz has it deflected. Peñaranda able to finally grab it.
It's the leadership as well, like it's got to be commended, but the frustrating thing will be why is the team always in those positions to need to come back?
That is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. 6 goals scored.
Then you've got at Hard Health Park, Sacramento shutting out El Paso on the quick turn. Sacramento needing those 3 points in the West, winning 2-0. And then Friday the 16th, Detroit City goes on the road. Birmingham on the quick turn, having played in Monterey Bay on the weekend and then turning around and having to dial it back up again one day sooner, losing 1-0 to Detroit City at Protective. So that sets up the standings and lets you know what's going on currently. Prink's Performance Standings presented by our friends at Prink's Tires. And once again, the East, no surprise. Lou City and Charleston, 50 points to 49. Lou City on a 4-game win streak. Charleston Battery have won 4 of 5. Group number 2, or 1B, Tampa Bay all by themselves at 40 points, as they have not lost in their last 5. And then the group chasing the playoffs, chasing to get into the playoffs, chasing to stay north of the playoff bar, starts in 4th. Indy 11, 35 points, same number of wins as Birmingham Legion, 10. Goal difference is the same at -3. And going through all the other tiebreakers, Indy 11 right now with one less match played ahead of Birmingham in the standings at 35 points. Indy 11, once again, 10-8-5 compared to 10-9-5. And that's your difference, going 19 tiebreakers down pretty much. Indy 11 in 4th, Legion in 5th. Detroit City finally gets a win on the board. They had 3 draws in a row. The unbeaten string goes to 4, mind you. But they need the 3 points, got the 3 points. They're at 34. Rhode Island FC at 7-5-11. They've hit each column once in their last 3. They're at 32 points. Loud United at 30 points, and they have done the same. They've hit each column once in their last 3. North Carolina FC with the win. They go to 29 points. They've won 2 in a row. Pittsburgh unbeaten in their last 5. 2 wins and 3 draws. They're at 27 points. Hartford Athletic has hit each column once in their last 3, and they're at 22 points. The Miami FC, 2-20-2 in 24 matches. Goal difference of -36, 8 points on the season in the East. On the West, New Mexico United 4 points clear of Sacramento Republic, 42-38. They also have a match in hand. Roots right now with 1 more win and 1 less match played over Memphis 901. Currently 3rd at 35 points. Memphis 901 is 4th. Vegas Lights at 32. Colorado Springs at 31. Orange County at 28. And they have lost 3 of their last 5. They only have 1 point in their last 3 matches. Monterey Bay at 27 points. They have 1 more win than FC Tulsa, and they are currently north of the playoff bar, but FC Tulsa has 2 matches in hand on Monterey Bay. Keep an eye on that. FC Tulsa has not lost in their last 5. Phoenix Rising at 26 points, and San Antonio FC at 5-11-6. They're at 21. El Paso Locomotive, they've hit each column in their last 3, and they're at 16 points with a record of 4-15-4. So let's get you into all of the news that's going on in the USL Championship this week. And we'll go over the viewing guide coming up in just a little bit. Phoenix Rising signed Curacao International Jerome Margarita, and so he'll be spending time at the corner of 38th and Washington, helping Phoenix Rising out. Comes from the 2nd tier in the Netherlands, competed in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying, and obviously the transaction pending league and federation approval and receipt of the P1 visa. Joined the professional ranks having spent most of his career in his native Netherlands, signed his first professional deal with VV Hoogeveen in 2019. 13 appearances, 11 goals, went on to score 20 goals the next 2 seasons for Almere City and TOP OS in the 2nd tier. And Diego Gomez looking forward to Jerome Margarita, who has represented Curacao on the international level once again in the World Cup qualifiers. Had 1 assist in 135 minutes. Recently competed for Sabah FK in Azerbaijan. 1 assist in 19 appearances. So a world-traveled Jerome Margarita now joining Phoenix Rising at the corner of 38th and Washington. FC Tulsa acquires forward Aaron Bibout on loan from LA Galaxy for the remainder of the season. Oakland Roots have signed young talent Ilya Alexiev to his first pro deal. So a big move for Oakland, in addition to announcing that they're going to be spending the 2025 season in the Oakland Coliseum. So very, very cool move there by them. Alexiev, the 18-year-old, has scored twice in USL Championship this year and has helped Project 510 to their deepest League Two playoffs run. So the chain is being followed, and Academy product Ilya Alexiev signed his first professional deal with the Oakland Roots. Graduate of Amador Valley in Amador Valley High, Pleasanton, California, raised in the East Bay. So local, Project 510, really working well for Oakland Roots, signing Alexiev to a new contract. All the other news that is going on in and around USL Championship. Once again, we mentioned the Oakland Coliseum now being the home for the Oakland Roots next season. Lou City has acquired Philip Goodrum for a record intra-league transfer fee. Lou City exercised the release clause in Goodrum's FC Tulsa deal, signed him to a multi-year deal on his own. Tampa Bay have added teenage local standout Endry Mustali, the third 17-year-old, to join the Rowdies on a pro deal. And another big move by the Tampa Bay Rowdies in USL Championship, once again signing young talent. So very, very cool stuff there. The viewing guide for the weekend, we're going to go through both USL Championship and USL League One, just so you know where you can watch anything and everything involving the USL. And don't forget, Super League also going on this weekend as well, and you can follow that on Peacock. That's where all of the matchups are all season long. USL Championship will get you to Saturday. Hartford and Vegas is on the plus, as is Pittsburgh and Colorado Springs. Rhode Island FC and Oakland Roots is on Golasso Network at 7:30. Tampa Bay and Loudoun's on the plus. Lou City Charleston on the plus, 8 o'clock. Match of the week material right there with Lou City and Charleston Battery. Memphis 901 FC Tulsa's on the plus. Same with New Mexico United Monterey Bay. San Antonio FC, North Carolina FC, and the back end of the doubleheader on Golasso Network on Saturday at 10 Eastern. It's Orange County and El Paso Locomotive. In USL League One, just so you've got your viewing habits, once again, South Georgia Tormenta, Northern Colorado Hailstorm at 7:30 Eastern. That one is on the plus as well. Getting into the decisions that have been made all week. Goal of the week, save of the week. And what you can do is you can vote Monday through Thursday and Tuesday through Friday on goal and save of the week, and follow along on the social media platforms for the USL Championship, uslchampionship.com, and follow along USL Championship on the 280-character app on Facebook and on Instagram. So very, very cool things there involving USL Championship, and following along and being a part of the process where you can vote for the goal of the week and the save of the week. Working forward, we'll let you know who those winners are coming up in just a little bit. Once again, the pressure this weekend on Pittsburgh and on Colorado Springs for different reasons. Once again, the Hounds are on a 6-game unbeaten string, and they're just getting a bunch of scoreless draws. And so you've got to change the draws into wins if you are Pittsburgh, and having to do that again after this 6-game unbeaten string is just giving you 1 point each time out. Also, the folks in Colorado Springs looking for a top 4 finish and a home playoff game by finishing in the top 4. They've got a little bit of work to do there. And then, once again, we mentioned Lou City and Charleston. Cannot mention this one enough. Lou City currently clearly in control of the situation, and if they take all 3 points, this would be the 11th time in 12 home matches that they do that this season. So that would be big for them, and it would also make sure that they would have any kind of advantage here in the home stretch, trying to make sure that you end up being at the top of the ladder, as you should, when it comes to USL Championship and all the home games that you're looking for in the postseason. Lou City has also transferred forward Tola Shawunmi to Crawleytown FC, and so he'll join former championship player Jeremy Kelly at the EFL League One club. So once again, very, very busy stuff involving Lou City, as well as their transfer history continues to grow and grow and grow. Goal of the week, save of the week, team of the week. We'll get into that. So championship goal of the week, and the choices ended up being Tobena Uzo getting the goal of the week for FC Tulsa. And the nominees presented by our friends at Select, as always, the way that it runs with the USL Championship goal of the week for week 23. It was Guenzati. Sorry, we're going all the way up to 23. Sebastian Guenzati from Indy 11, Luisinho from the Miami FC, Stefano Pino from Birmingham Legion, Ben Morris from Detroit City. And so those are your 4 contenders for goal of the week for week 23. The save of the week contenders for week 23, once again presented by our friends at Select and Konami eFootball, and save of the week also presented by our friends at Terminix. Hunter Salt from Indy 11, Charleston Batteries, Adam Grinwis, Danny Vitiello out of Sacramento, and Tim Cyril from Oakland Roots. Hunter Salt had his nomination against Rhode Island, Grinwis against Memphis 901, Vitiello against Lou City, and Tim Cyril against Loudoun United. Hunter Salt, by the way, won with 80% of the vote. The save of the week presented by our friends at Terminix. Team of the week for week 23, Wilson Harris, player of the week after the 2-goal performance in the 7-goal thriller that you heard earlier in the show. And so he obviously on the board with player of the week, and team of the week is always presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. John Bradford, your coach of the week at North Carolina FC. The keeper, Jordan Farr from Tampa Bay. Lucas Stauffer from El Paso. Agagi Margvelashvili from Oakland Roots, Patrick Hogan from Riverhounds. Those are your defenders. Midfield, Juan David Torres from Charleston, Robert Coronado from El Paso, Nick Ross from Sacramento, and Sergio Rivas from New Mexico United. Those are your midfielders. Your forwards, Wallace Anderson from North Carolina FC, Wilson Harris, obviously, Nick Markanich from Charleston Battery. We mentioned John Bradford as your coach. Your bench, Eric Dick from Pittsburgh, Frank Nodarce from Rhode Island, Harvey St. Clair from FC Tulsa, Jack Gurr from Sacramento, Mikey Maldonado from North Carolina FC, Taylor Davila from Lou City, and Armando Moreno from El Paso Locomotive. So that is your team of the week for Week 23 as we try and get into the home stretch here in the sprint that is USL Championship here in every single aspect of what's going on. We got groups. We got folks in the East that have distance. We have the race to get into the playoffs, the race to stay in the playoffs. Same in the Western Conference as well, a couple of different groups, but the group trying to get in and stay in the championships, that is always going to be the big thing here for everybody chasing here in USL Championship. Power rankings for Week 23. And once again, remember, this is power rankings. It's not necessarily going by record, but it's tied to how hot you are and what you're doing compared to everybody else in the week. Brinks Tires, your presenting sponsor for power rankings for Week 23. No surprise, the top four stay the same. Lou City, Charleston, Vegas, and Tampa Bay. Remember, it's power rankings. Vegas, we know, is 8-7-8. Longest undefeated streak in the league this season at 11. Almost got the win with Detroit. So those top four are the same. New Mexico up 2-5. Rhode Island stays at 6. Birmingham up 4-7. Sacramento stays at 8. North Carolina up 3-9. Roots up 4-10, and that means that folks fall. Loudoun down 6-11. Memphis down 3-12. Switchbacks down 3-13. Pittsburgh down 1-14. Indy's up 2-15. Orange County's up 3-16, which means Detroit City falls 1-17. Tulsa really falls 3-18. Phoenix Rising up 2-19. Monterey Bay stays at 20. Hartford down 3-21 at 6-12-4. El Paso with a win. Finally a home victory. 4-14-4. You're up 1-22, which means San Antonio's down 1-23. And Miami down at the bottom of 24. That is where they are. So, and the point made by those putting the power rankings together, another win this season, looking very far from lightly. Wow. Very far from lightly. Another win, likely. Another win, not necessarily being looked at by everybody who's paying attention to what's going on in USL Championship. The Miami FC could be stuck at 2 wins this season. Long season for our friends at the Miami FC. So getting into the juice boxes for the matchups. And once again, it's very, very recent from our friends at Odds Portal. And what they end up doing is take it a day at a time. So if you're looking for juice boxes for later in the weekend, look late today, late on your Saturday, look late the day before when it comes to juice boxes and USL Championship. So here we go. Before we get out of here, it is Hartford Athletic, a slight favorite with Vegas visiting at a plus 143, Vegas a plus 161. Pittsburgh is a minus 141 hosting Colorado Springs, who's north of plus 350. Rhode Island, a big favorite at home, hosting Roots at a minus 189. Roots are north of plus 430. Tampa Bay, a big favorite, minus 185, hosting Loudoun United, who's a plus 387 in the composite. Lou City and Charleston. Lou City is a minus 108. The draw is a plus 258. Charleston's a plus 252. I know a lot of folks might be going to that draw option. Memphis, big favorite at home at a minus 156, hosting FC Tulsa at a plus 329. New Mexico United, minus 167 at the Lab, hosting Monterey Bay, north of plus 370. San Antonio is a slight underdog at home at a plus 159. Draws a plus 225. North Carolina FC is a plus 154. Orange County SC for your late night favorite on the minus side, a minus 110. El Paso Locomotive, a plus 276. The draw is a plus 243. A reminder, we'll get you through the schedule here over the next 7 days and let you know what's going on in USL Championship. If you are in market and can go visit, you get to see the best of the second division here in the soccer pyramid in the United States. If you are in market and cannot make it, follow along on local providers and local social media for your favorite teams. If you're out of market, once again, follow along on social media, streaming, and your providers, and you can always come and hang out with us every single week when it comes to life in USL Championship. So we've mentioned what is happening to get us into Saturday. What about after Saturday? Next matchup, only in the midweek, there's only one. And it's at Al Lang on Wednesday night. Tampa Bay catching up with their matches in hand, hosting Detroit City. So Detroit City has a match in Tampa on Wednesday. Then they have to turn around and have a night game at home next Saturday against FC Tulsa. So it'll be a stern test for Le Rouge as they are trying to make up matches and get in line with everyone else with the number of matches played this late in the season. That is what's going on in USL Championship here, and we covered it to you SDH style. Once again, we'll be back next week. We'll let you know what's going on with all of the wins and losses and the compression and trying to figure out who's in, who's out as we're in the business end of the schedule. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for dropping by. That is life in the USL Championship. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy the games.